The Bali's kingdom paradox. Bali was a great king. He was the grandson of Prahlad. He was very righteous and did yajna after yajna, performed yajna after yajna, and after every yajna, he was distributing dana to everybody, and thus was creating a lot of punya. Due to this, the Indra, as of that time, became concerned. He felt because of so much of collection of punya, at some point of time, Bali would stake a claim on his position. And that is why he asked Sri Vishnu to disturb Bali in some way or the other. And Sri Vishnu took the avatar of Vamana, went to Bali, the Asur king, and asked him for the dan of 3 feet of land. 3 feet of land to perform yajna. And Bali, as was his method, he would never say no to an achak. He immediately gave away that much land. Shukracharya had seen through this, and that is why he went and stood inside the vessel to stop the flow of water. But Bali nevertheless gave away the land, and as soon as the land was given, Vamana with his 1 foot covered Prithvi, with the 2nd foot covered the Akash, and then said, where do I put the 3rd foot? 3 feet of land. And Bali said, keep it on my head. And keeping his foot on Bali's head, Sri Vishnu or Vamana avatar pushed him down to Patala, and so was Bali punished. Why was Bali punished in this way? A good person, good deeds, and he was punished because of the insecurity of the Indra. This is the story that generally makes way to your ears. But it has got a very strong and very different dimension. That is what we will see today. Part of this story is absolutely right, but part is mixed up. That Bali was a righteous king. He performed yajna after yajna, and after the yajna, he was giving dana to each and everyone who came to his yajna. But because of this, everybody in the kingdom was able to get whatever they wanted, be it gold, be it land, be it food, or be any kind of prosperity, cows, animals, clothes, whatever was required was being provided by the king, the almighty king. And what was the effect of this? The effect of this was the social fabric was withering away. The society works and remains together on teamwork, and that teamwork is fueled by interdependency. In a society, everybody is dependent on the other person or many other persons for his survival, prosperity, as well as his sustenance. But when along comes a king, a benevolent king, who gives you everything that you want, your dependence or interdependence reduces. And a society which is based on mutual respect, dharma, and interdependence starts crumbling. Dharma, after all, is based on economic activity, and it is a complete circle or sphere of activity on which a society sustains and strives. When this activity is artificially taken over by somebody else, why would you work? In America, children are able to call on police on their parents if their parents misbehave. So much so that if the parent touches a child, the child can call up the police and police can take action. So the parent-child relationship is vitiated because parents cannot take any kind of strict action on the child. And disciplining a child or even showing him the right way becomes a big headache for parents. That is because in the parent-child relationship, a third dimension of state intervention has come in. And as we see, dharma and necessity are the two aspects which keep the society going. The child in this case knows that the government will take care of his needs if need be, not necessarily parents. And that is why he calls up government agencies. And this gives rise to materialistic yet lazy and aimless life. This was what was happening in Bali's kingdom. And that is why an intervention became necessary. The dilemma was, Bali was a good person. Bali was doing good deeds. But the consequences of those good deeds were disastrous, or were going to be disastrous, because these disasters don't happen in one generation. This generation is used to hard work, but this generation starts getting everything ready-made. The next generation and next to next is going down the drain because they have never seen hard work as such. Everything that is physical today becomes conceptual or symbolic or abstract as generations go by. And what was earned today becomes a right tomorrow. But for that right, somebody has to fuel it. Somebody has to work hard for it. Somebody has to generate it. And that part is missing from the whole circle. That is why this society is going to be doomed. But the dilemma is, do we punish a person who is doing good deeds? And if so, how and why? To show that clarity, Vamana avatar took place. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Whenever dharma has glani, people are not able to understand what is happening. That is the time I take avatar. And that Vamana avatar was there to show the right direction to the society, which was becoming increasingly dependent on Bali. But Bali was not to be punished. And that was why he was displaced. He was moved. And where was he moved to? He was moved to Patala. Patala at that time was considered to be a materialistic area. The description of Patala is that it is equivalent to Swarga. It has got trees which come down to the soil because of the load of fruits that they bear. It has got fields which are full of crop, and it has got lakes, all 12 months, which are full of water. It is in a way heaven on earth, prosperous but materialistic. And it is Patala, that means it is below our feet. And in today's language, Patala is America, because wherever you are standing, if you dig a hole, you will come out in California. And that was where Bali was sent. Bali was rewarded for his good deeds, and Bali also would become the next Indra when the tenure of the present Indra is over. but the society was brought on the right way. The doom of the society was avoided, and this is how the Bali paradox was solved by Vamana Avatar. And that is ancient wisdom. Namaskar.